Well, hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Let's get right into marching. And I'm here to guide you through today's hardcore glutes. We got a lot of glute focused moves in today's hardcore glutes. If you have some space and you want to bring that heart rate up a little bit higher, let's move forwards and backwards. And I'm just going to make sure you can see the whole mat here, which I think you can. But we have a lot of moves that are like low to the floor. So, I don't know what that was. So more important that you can see what's happening down on the floor as opposed to seeing what's happening over my head because we don't have any standing overhead movements. Awesome. We got about 30 seconds left, I'm going to say, for this march. Coming to you live today from the glorious storage closet here in McLean. Not quite as fantastic as the beach, but you know what? We're going to make it work. Awesome. If you are moving forwards and backwards, find that one spot for yourself. Let's open the feet a little bit wider than hips width distance apart, maybe shoulders width distance apart. Your toes can gently point out in the same direction as your knees. And let's take a couple air squats. Weight in your heels, press up through the heels. You can squeeze the glutes at the top, even start to bring a little drive forward of the hip. We got lots of drives of the hip that are coming your way today. Keeping these nice, slow air squats to get started. Make sure that you're sticking those glutes up behind you, like you're reaching for a chair, so that you start to actually feel a stretch into your glutes, maybe even in your quads, so your knees are not coming forward, your heels are staying on the floor. We're going to do 5 more. 5. Whoop. Pardon me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stand up. Just kick those legs out gently. If you need to use a wall, feel free to use a wall for this next one, or a chair, or your desk. We're just going to take a couple kicks of the legs forward and backward. Really want you to think about squeezing that glute, especially as that leg comes to the back, maybe even to a little bit of a diagonal. Make sure you're still breathing, and let's switch those legs. The leg that you're standing on is engaged, but we're not necessarily jamming that knee back, so there can be a slight bend in your standing leg. That's going to help engage your quad a little bit. Press down through your heel, find some pressure through the ball of your foot. Awesome. Back to your original leg. Draw that knee up. Let's bring it out, in, and down. Keep on going up, out, in, down. You're just moving with your range of motion. Remember, the more that you focus your eyes, the easier balance is going to be. We're getting about 5 on this side. Still with that engaged leg. And lots of breath. Switch those legs once you've hit your 5. Both sides of the body are not the same, so appreciate whatever it is that you can bring to this side of the body. And remember, if you need to hold on to a wall or a chair, you are doing what works for you. I lost count a little, so we're going to see that this is 5. It either is or it's 6, and then just go right back to finding a little kick of those legs. Let's start to make that kick a little bit higher, like there's a tennis ball hanging from the ceiling and you are kicking that pointed toe so the top of your foot is touching the tennis ball. If you are having trouble with these alternating big kicks, take 3 steps in between and then kick. 1, 2, 3, and then kick. Or you can just keep alternating with your big kicks. Warming up those hamstrings a little bit before we're going to hit the floor and get right into our workout. We're still going to be warming up a little bit with round 1 of our moves. They're glute bridges. Let's get our last 4 on each side. Unless you're doing alternating kicks, you're going to get a lot more than 4. Final 2 if you're moving with me. Big breath, last one on each side, toe pointed, kick with the top of the foot. Awesome. Let's come on down to our mat. Suggest that if you're going to hinge forward, pull your belly in. I'm going to take a big inhale, draw the belly in, and exhale, rain or swan dive down towards the floor. Fingers can come to the mat, knees can come to the mat. First move that we're going to do are some glute bridges. So flip on over onto your bums. You can hold on to some weights if you want to have weights by your hips. I'm not going to use weights for round number 1. First set of glute bridges, you can keep your triceps down on the floor. If you're not going to feel this in your glutes with your toes pointed and your heels behind them, gently turn your toes out to about 11 and 1 o'clock and keep your feet where they are. We're going to move with our breath. Exhale up, inhale down. After 40 seconds, we're going to hold at the top. I know. And then we're just going to come into our next glute bridge. If you don't want that extra hold for those 20 seconds, or you don't want to hold for the full 20 seconds, just release yourself down towards the floor, take a break, and then join me for the next glute bridge. So change them up each round. Regular glute bridges right here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So exhale up, inhale down. So you're just moving at the pace of your breath. If you want to move a little bit faster, you're just breathing a little bit faster. But remember, faster is not always better. Sometimes slower can really lead to you feeling more engaged. So when you get to the top, really using that breath, squeeze, 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 driving your hips up. We got 10 seconds left, and then you can hold at the top with me. Our next glute bridge is going to be a hamstring focused glute bridge. So at the end of this upcoming 20-second hold high, here we are, holding up high, we're just going to walk our feet out further away. Keeping the chest open, back of the shoulders down the floor. If you want to take a little bit of a break, go for it right now. You got 15 seconds that we're in the air. Walk your feet out a little bit further. Press your heels into the floor. Toes are lifted. Start with your glute bridges again. So triceps can be on the mat, helping you stay nice and balanced. A little bit more challenge even without weights, arms up to the sky. And as you can imagine, holding a weight in your hand right here can make this move even more challenging, or holding your weight right here at your hips. We got lots of drives coming your way. We got about 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to hold it, right? Are you joining me for these holds? Still using your breath for 3, 2, hold and squeeze. Our next glute bridge, we're going to walk our feet back in, about to where they started. But we're going to press all the way up onto the balls of the feet. Let's stay here for 5 more seconds, get 15 seconds in the air, and then slowly lower down. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Press up to your glute bridge. Press up to the balls of the feet. So from here, hips stay high. We're just going to drop heels down and then press back up onto the balls of the feet. That's the whole move. If you're struggling, drop one heel down at a time and then the other. Oh my gosh, my glutes and hips are already so tired. But we're here to do the best that we can. So maybe that means that your arms stay down on the floor and you stick with just doing one heel drop at a time, or maybe you're challenging yourself to arms back up towards the sky for 3, 2, 1. Can you keep it high, pressed up onto the balls of the feet? We're going to work from here for our last set and just pulse and drive those hips. I'm going to lower them down just to take a breath. Otherwise, our last 40 seconds of work starts in 3, 2, 1. Find where you need your arms to be. Can you stay pressed up onto the balls of the feet? If you need to bring your heels down and pulse from here, go for it. I want you to just keep breathing, keep moving, doing your best. We are more than halfway right now. You can do this. And if you need to take a second and lower yourself down and take a big breath, go for it. Press yourself up when you can, back to the motion. It is not all or nothing. It's what can you do today? And sometimes we need to work our way there incrementally. Sometimes it's a big matter of how did you sleep? What are you eating? How stressed are you? What did you do yesterday? The last 20 seconds, if you choose to take this hold. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Lower your back down to the mat. Go ahead, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a couple circles, keeping your low back pressed down to the floor, massaging your sacrum. Change the direction of your knee circles. Good news, bad news is our next move focuses on the abs, so we get to relax the glutes a little bit and we can stay laying here on the floor. Our first move is going to be leg lifts. If you don't want to go for the full leg lift, you can keep your knees bent and you can just tap your toes or your heels down to the floor. Maybe you're even just tapping one toe or heel down towards the floor because that's where your core strength is. If you have your thumbs tucked under your low back glutes, that can also make this move easier and that straight leg move easier. My hamstrings are very tight and tired. So I'm going to start with my knees bent and then work as this circuit goes through of different leg lifts to try and extend legs long. Every day is different. Let's start this move in 3, 2, here we go. So remember, options are tapping one knee down at a time. The more that your knees are stacked on top of your hips, or if your heels are stacked on top of your hips, the more challenging it's going to be. As your knees come more towards your chest, a little bit less work on the abs. As the knees come further away from the center line, a little bit more challenging on the lower abs. So even here with your knees bent, going for this toe tap towards the floor, as opposed to a straight leg lift, you can still bring so much challenge. And it's really your choice right now if you're doing one or both leg at the same time. Awesome. Next, we're going to go for a scissors kick. So if you hadn't already been joining me with a little bit of scissors, let's see if we can straighten those legs nice and long and drop one foot at a time. And then the opposite foot drops towards the floor. Ready? Here we go. If you need to, you can still stick with those knees bent and find the scissor with your knees bent. Remember, thumbs can tuck under your low back for a little bit more support right here. And if you notice that your back really arches off the mat as you drop down lower than 45 degrees, then maybe you don't drop lower than 45 degrees. Your full extension might be just a couple inches, or maybe it's that heel hovering off of the mat. Thus far, I've suggested leg lifts where we've kept the back of our head on the floor. Take a break. But that's not going to change this next round, where we're going to tap behind the thigh. So lower back stays on the mat. We're lifting our head up in a C curve. So chin is towards the chest. I'm looking between my legs, not at the toes, and then just dropping one leg and then dropping the other. Finding this little tap behind the thighs. Can you join me right here? If you need to, you can always press your head down on the floor, find your little scissors, draw your knees towards your chest, tap into your scissors. Remember, it is not all or nothing. It is what can you do today? So you're just working towards building that ab strength, whether it's already here or you're working on it by finding it one tap at a time. We got one more time through of some variety of leg lifts. Take a break. I'm going to let this last round be up to you. So whether you're continuing with those tapas behind the thigh, with just a scissor, with a leg lift, with your knees bent tapping, let's set ourselves up and get started right now. Right now. Here we go. Awesome. There we go. And just like before, arms up overhead. If you're holding a weight above your chest, can make this a little bit more challenging. But if you don't want to hold that weight above your chest, just stretching your arms up to the sky can be a start. Moving your hands away from the supported position below your glutes can be scary if you haven't done it yet. But try it one time, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. Muscle memory is a real thing though. So even from right here, shoulders can be off of the floor, chin can be tucked towards your chest. Even at the very end, just challenging yourself to see all the things you can do. Relax your head back down towards the mat. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Take one big inhale. And on your exhale, release the soles of the feet back down towards the floor. Windshield wipe your legs gently left and right. Rotate your spine as much as possible, working to bring the inner thighs towards the floor. Might start to feel that delightful stretch into your quads. That's the top of your thighs. This next move that we're going to do it our best focusing on the glutes. There's a way you can do it to focus on the quads, and there's a way you can do it to focus on the glutes. Come on up into a kneeling position, and this time you're going to bring your heavier weight. Okay, knees can be open wide, toes are coming towards each other. We're going to try and make this motion happen with shoulders stacked on top of hips. Shoulders stacked on top of hips, holding the weight goblet style at your chest. We're going to lift and thrust and then lower down, still keeping shoulders on top of the hips. That's how we're going to work the glutes. Working the quads here. If you want to switch it up, if you need a break and your glutes are tired, your shoulders are going to stay on top of your knees. Your hips drive back and then squeeze. Wait a minute. Am I mixing those up? That feels pretty quaddy. I'm tired, y'all. Let's actually get a little bit of both. We'll get a little bit of both because we're worth it. Starting off with the move of shoulders staying stacked on top of your hips. So we're not going to find a hinge. We're staying upright. We're lifting. We're lowering. In 3, 2, let's make it happen. So drive your hips, and you can play around with the speed that you're moving here. See how it feels to go down nice and slow and drive. Oh, my quads. I think I might have mixed up which I said was which. That's okay, because I'm being honest and I'm owning it. I was on vacation, so my brain's not quite back. And then we had a day off. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Next, we're going to keep the shoulders stacked, nice flat back. Drive the hips, shoulders stay forward, hips go back. So you can find that stretch in your glutes as your hips go back here also. 3, 2, 1. Lean your glutes towards your heels. Drive it forward, really big squeeze at the top. Oh yeah. That's where some glute magic is happening. Pardon me if I confused you by saying the wrong thing earlier. I wish I could rewind, but I cannot. We got 5 seconds left right here. Find that separation of the glutes. Squeeze the glutes. Take a break. One more time. We're going to keep shoulders stacked on top of the hips. Get a little bit of the quad work. We're working the core. To me, that is between the ankles and the shoulders. It's the whole body. All right. Let's get the front of the thighs. In 3, 2, 1. So maybe this time you go down really slow and you come up fast. Playing around with the time under tension can really make such a big difference in the results that you're seeing. So if you've been doing the same thing all the time at the same pace, mix it up. Even just mixing up the pace, even without mixing up the weight itself, can really change your challenge. We got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, take a break. Last time through, shoulders are going to stay forward, glutes are going to drive back towards your hips. Starting to get a little warm here in the closet on campus. This is our third of 6 moves we're trying to make happen today. Let's see how time is on our side. Shoulders stay forward, hips drive back, big separation of those glutes. Hips drive forward, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Separate and squeeze. Still moving and working with your breath. That full length of the exhale driving forward, even when I still am as far forward as I can go, getting all of that stale air out. We did it. Awesome. Let's come on down to the floor. Option to tuck a weight behind your knee for the next one. We're going to go for some glute kickbacks. In the meantime, with those knees still wide and toes together, send glutes back towards your heels. You can extend your arms forward. Little gentle stretch in your shoulders. If it doesn't feel good in your shoulders, take a generous bend. Every exhale, think about your glutes coming a little closer towards those heels behind you. You're in a gentle inversion here with your head below your heart. It's going to bring your heart rate back down. Focus back to your breath. Awesome. Oopsie doodles. Press yourself back up into tabletop. And if you're going to use a weight for this next one, we're going to take a light to medium weight and tuck it behind the knee. This is the first of 2 exercises with the option to tuck a weight behind the knee. Once you tuck that weight behind the knee, go ahead from tabletop, fingers spread really nice and wide. Work to bring your thigh parallel to the floor. Your choice, maybe one round you have your toe pointed, maybe one round you have your foot flat. Remember, you don't have to keep that weight behind your thigh, but we're going to stick with the same leg for 2 rounds in a row. And let's start that in 3, 2, here we go. So getting a nice big glute kickback from right here. By big, I mean engage. So it is a squeeze. Your foot actually might not move that much. If your foot is moving a lot, you're actually probably not engaging your glute too much. You're probably using other muscles to find that drive. So it's that squeeze of your glute. Your foot might move like an inch. For 3, 2, 1, take a break. Remember, we're going to get that same leg again. The second time through, I'm going to do it with no weight. I'm enjoying a little cat-cow right here, just relaxing the back, shaking out those glutes, but set yourself up because we start again in 3, 2, 1. So that thigh is parallel to the floor. Just that little squeeze and contraction. Like you're trying to squeeze your 2 cheeks towards each other. It might feel like absolutely nothing is happening, but you are working on finding that engagement of your glutes. You might be very tired. It's okay if you take a break, but when can you get back to the motion? We got 10 seconds left. Last time through on this leg. For this position, 3, 2, 1. Take a break. Find that quick little cat-cow, and then we're going to get the opposite leg. Can you tuck that weight behind your knee to challenge yourself on the opposite leg if you did it on the first? That's also going to help you engage your hamstring, engage your glute a little bit more, just holding something behind that leg. Here we go, thigh parallel to the floor. That little squeeze, exhale, and lift. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. Lower belly is engaged. Pushing into your hands palms, into the mound under your thumb. You got about 10 seconds left. For 3, 2, 1. Take that break. You're going to remove the weight. We got one more time through, one more round of these little glute kickbacks, and then we get to lay down on our sides. In 3, 2, don't sink into your shoulders, push into your hands, palms, set yourself up, and begin. Remember, it's not a big movement. It is an exhale, squeeze, and inhale, release. Woo. And if you need to, take a second, take that break, shake it out, come back into the challenge as quickly as you can. Remember, both sides of the body are not the same, so enjoying what you can make happen on this side of the body with the best form you can. Ooh, take that break back to your cat-cow, or maybe you take a little child's pose. We've got clamshells coming up next. Awesome. So let's lay down on our sides. Option to once again bring a weight. I'm going to bring that lighter weight and tuck it behind the knee of the top leg, relaxing your head down to the floor so that you're in as straight of a line as possible. You might even keep your top hand on the exterior glute med so you can feel it fire up for this next move. However, you also might find you need that hand here on the floor for a little bit of balance, and we're just going to work to open those thighs, squeeze your glutes, and then bring it right back in. In 3, 2, 1, let's do it. So still working with your breath, exhale to clamshell open, inhale, bring it back together. You can even have the soles of your feet, the inner arches of the feet touching towards each other, or they can just hover. I'm actively working to externally rotate the thigh, not just lifting up to the side, rotating that knee up and open. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Take a break. Remember, you don't have to have this weight tucked behind your leg. We're going to do it one more time on this side. Ooh, how are things feeling back there? A little tired, I would say. 3, here we go. That clock timer said, I wait for no one. Oh, wow. If you're like me, starting to feel a little sore, maybe that range of motion is not quite where it was on round 1. We got about 10 seconds left over here. Then we got to flip over and get the opposite side. Yay. Oh, ugh. Flip on over. Other side, same move. If you want, you can tuck that weight behind your top knee, relax your head on your arm on the floor. Maybe your hand is at your glutes. Maybe your hand is on the floor for some support and balance. We are rotating just like we did in that warm-up move. Remember that warm-up move where we drove our knee up and then we rotated out? We're basically doing the same thing from a little bit smaller of a range of motion. Instead of driving that knee up to be parallel to the floor, we're just keeping those soles of the feet stacked towards each other, making this clamshell happen. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So engaged on the way up and down, especially if you have that weight behind your leg. It's just going to encourage you to activate a little bit more of the backside of the body. We got one more time through. I'm going to do it without the weight. Long, slow, deep breaths. We got one more move after this. We're going to stand for that final move also. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Still finding that clamshell. So even if you, like me, remove that weight from behind your leg, you can really focus on engaging these muscles right here in the glute. Woo, almost there. We got about 10 seconds left. For 3, 2. Oh, wow, that is a burn. What do you think? All right, press yourself up. We're going to come to standing for our last move of the day. We're going for a squat into a curtsey lunge. Make sure that you have some space for yourself. Perhaps you even move your mat out of the way so that you don't trip on it. If you like, you may hold on to some weights. You do not have to hold on to weights. I'm going to move the mat. You can always bring it back for stretching. All right, only one leg is going to move for this one. We'll focus on one leg at a time, but we'll be kind as we're close to the end of the workout and we're alternate for each set. So feet nice and wide, just like we did for our air squats. Knees are going in the same direction as your toes. We're getting that big squat, and then you're crossing the leg behind you, taking a curtsey lunge. It could be a very narrow curtsey lunge, or it can be a very wide curtsey lunge, but you're pressing yourself up with this static leg. This moving leg is just moving for funsies, but we're trying not to launch ourselves off of the back leg as it comes to the floor. That's not launching us forward. It's this front leg that's lifting us up and the glute is squeezing. Are you ready? In 3, 2, last 4 minutes of work. Here we go. So we got our squat, push through both heels to stand, and then this static leg is what's helping you stand back up, back into a feet wide squat, press and lift, curtsey lunge, press through that front heel, lift. Awesome. So we're also kind of a little bit back towards giving some love into that quad. And yeah. You're just going at your own pace. You can be moving much faster than me. You can be moving much slower than me too. Awesome. Now take a break. Let's give some hip circles during this break. Ooh, that feels wonderful. And then the opposite leg is going to do the curtsey. Change the direction of your hip circles. Feet are planted. You're ready. Back to that air squat right now. So that big old squat. Take your time on the first one. Find that curtsey lunge. Press through your front heel to lift yourself back up. Remember, as we're doing these squats too, glutes are coming behind you. Find that big stretch, like you're reaching for a chair so that your knees aren't coming forward and your heels are staying down on the floor. Remember, slow and steady can really be where it's at so that each time you lift up, squeeze, 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 as engaged as you can be. Take a break. Let's just do some nice little kicks forward for this break. And then we're going to have the right leg move for our curtsey lunges one more time. In 3, 2, 1. Plant your feet. Awesome. Did you send your glutes back to find that stretch in the glutes? Maybe even really feel it in the hamstrings as you are stretching back and then pressing through your heels. Squeeze, suck everything up from the bottom to find your lift. Like your body is a straw, but you can only pull water up from the bottom of the straw, just like a straw. Fascinating analogy. 3 seconds left. Awesome. Let's come to some back kicks. Just alternating, kicking your heel back behind you like you're trying to close the door by kicking it with your heel. For 3, 2, left leg is going to curtsey. Find the squats one more time. Squat, press up. That curtsey lunge, push your front heel to lift. Beautiful. Really challenge yourself. Send your glutes back and down. Not just down, back and down first. Well more than halfway. We got about 10 seconds left right here. For 3, 2. Awesome, you did it. Back to those little kicks. This time, heel digs forward. Little crossbody heel dig. And we're going to come on back to those gentle kicks towards the front. Here we go. Not too high. Still kicking with the top of the feet. Let's get 4 more on each side. 3, 2, kicks to the back. One last time. You can hinge forward a little bit from your hips. Hands can come to your waist. Last 4 on each side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We're just going to encourage some range of motion, just like we did when we started. Perhaps your hand is at a wall or a desk or a chair. Let's just kick one leg forwards and backwards. For 4, 3, 2, switch those legs. Keep stretching up tall through the crown of your head. Just having some fun here. Last 2 breaths and few kicks. Awesome. Okay, using your wall or your chair, quick little stretch into your calves. So go ahead, bend your front knee, press that back heel down towards the floor. You can lift your chest forward, and as you're pressing forward, we're going to get a stretch in the hip while your chest lifts also. And switch, opposite foot comes back. So starting off, you're probably feeling the stretch in your calf. Your glutes are a little behind you. Drive those hips forward. Start to lift your chest. You can feel the stretch in your hip. You can feel the stretch in your quad. You can still feel that great stretch in your calf also. Great. Step your 2 feet together. We got lots of hamstring work in today as well. So kick your right heel forward. We're going to bend that left knee. Glutes go back behind you. Paint your fingers down your thigh. Your right toe is flexed towards your face. Fingers stretch forward of your toe. Lift yourself up, pressing through that left heel. Arms come down. Let's get a couple more of those. Trace your fingers down your thigh. Forward, keep flexing right toes to your face. Can you flex all 5 of your toes to your face? Can you even flex that pinky toe a little bit towards your face? Last one. Beautiful. Switch those legs. Kick your left heel forward a bit. Take a bend in the right knee. Send your glutes back behind you. Paint down your thigh. Forward, flex your left toes to your face and lift yourself up. Nice and slow. Easy does it. We got 2 more. Awesome. Relax your arms down by your side. Open your feet nice and wide. Take some big hip circles. Keeping them nice and slow. We're changing direction of those hip circles. Like you are moving a giant hula hoop. Ooh, it is getting real warm in here at the end. Awesome. Step those feet together. Let's take a stretch into the quad as well. Quad, and then we'll get another hip opener. So if you need to use a wall, go ahead, grab hold of your left foot and bring your two knees in one line. Point your knee down towards the floor. You might already feel the stretch in your quad, and then grow through the crown of your head. So try to notice if you were letting your hip shift or dump in either direction. Squeeze your glutes, drive your hips forward, and try to actually create the stretch in your hips. Find one spot with your eyes to help you balance. Take another big deep breath. And release. We're going to bring that right foot forward, cross it over the left thigh, and sit back and down. Find a spot to relax your eyes, presumably diagonally in front of you. If you feel really wiggly wobbly, lift your chest up a little. Keep sending your glutes back and down, using your breath. Nice and slow. Can you sit a little bit lower? And then inhale, lift yourself up. Awesome. Let's get that other side, starting with this quad stretch and hip opener. So knee points down towards the floor, two thighs side by side. Lifting your chest, pressing through your standing foot. Just a couple more breaths right here. Awesome. Relax, release, cross your left ankle over the right thigh, sit yourself back and down. So important to take some time to stretch after these workouts to help relax, release the muscles, to create those long, lean muscles to help decrease some of the lactic acid. You're going to feel better in 2 days because you're taking the time to stretch right now. Inhale, lift yourself up, press that left foot to the floor. Inhale, both arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Take one more big breath just like that before we'll take a forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, arms down by your side. One more time, bend your knees, inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, rain or swan dive down to the floor. Bend your knees as generously as you need to. Can you come down with a flat back and then fingers come down to the floor? And with your feet still planted, bend one knee and then the other to get some movement in your hips. Take a moment here, relax your head hairline to the floor. If the floor feels really far away, maybe you wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe you grab your opposite elbow, but you're hinging from your hips. Can you start to bring more weight to your toes? Take a moment here, shake your head. Yes, yes, I am so proud of myself for showing up today, for doing whatever I could do with the body that I have. And shake your head, no. Nope, no regrets. No regrets on simply doing our best, whatever that looks like. With challenge comes change. Every day is different. Showing up for yourself every day is truly the hardest part. All right, find some stillness. Bend your knees generously. Transfer the weight to your heels and slowly roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Stack your head over your heart, over your hips. Roll your shoulders down and back. Fingers stretch down towards the floor. All 5 fingers touching each other. A little squeeze of the glutes. Hips drive forward. Decompression of your shoulders. Fingers still stretching down. Take one more big inhale into your nose. Exhale, open your mouth, loud sigh. Letting it all go. One more time. Inhale into your nose. Lungs full, open your mouth. Exhale, loud sigh. Awesome. And then just shake it off. We did it. I hope you're so proud of yourself for coming today, for doing whatever it was that you were able to do. I can't wait to see you again later this week. And stay tuned. We have some amazing new health fitness specialists and coordinators starting in Bedford within about a week. And I can't wait to see all the amazing new classes that we're able to bring your way. Till then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.